Hello again, my friends. Today's video is going to give you some tips to improve the performance of your Mac. We're going to start with the least disruptive items, easiest to implement, and then move to the more disruptive ones that may lead all the way up to restarting your computer. So you're having trouble with your Google Meet. The connection seems to be slow. Your Google Slide document isn't loading quickly enough. As much as you might think it's the network, it's probably not the network. It's probably your computer. Your computer is probably being overtaxed. Its processor is being overtaxed by too many things being open and being used. So what I want to do is give you some ideas on how you can try to solve these problems yourself. So our number one thing, and our first one, and the one that's probably going to help the most, is you need to close unused browser tabs and windows. I've warned about this in the past. Every tab you have open, on every browser window you have open, takes up resources on your computer and is going to slow things down. If you have all sorts of teeny tiny little tabs open right up here, your computer is going to be slow. So you're going to need to close those down. You're pretty familiar on how to close tabs, but you may not be familiar with how to find other browser windows that are open. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down to your dock down at the bottom of your Mac, your dock here with all of the apps, and you're going to right-click on Google Chrome. And up at the top of this little menu, you are going to have maybe a couple of other browser windows open. Right now I have only one browser window open. But if I open another browser window, I open another browser window, and now I go back and look, oh, I have two open now. The check-marked one is the one that you're currently on. The others, any others, will have a diamond or maybe nothing on there. So to close that window down, just click on that in the menu and X out of it. So that's the number one thing and probably the thing that's going to help the most. And you can do that very quickly. Close unused browser tabs and or windows. Item 2, we want to close other apps and programs that might be running in the background. Maybe you opened Photo Booth a while back and didn't close it down. Maybe you opened Microsoft Word and didn't close it down. All of these things are using up resources on your computer. So how do I find out if I have any of these open? Well, there's a couple of ways to do that. First one is your mission control key, which is the F3 key, top row of your keyboard. F3, we click it. Right now, I only have one program open. Okay. But let's say I open up Microsoft Word, and let's say I open up my email browser, my email client. So Microsoft Word is open. Open up on an extra document. Okay, and we go to check my email, and we've got all these things, but you may not see it. You may be right here and you may not know that you have these things open, but if we hit the mission control key, now I can see all of the ones that I have open, and I can close them down. Click on it, close it down. I can go back, I click it again, I can click on this, and I can close it down. Now, the other thing that you can do is if you come down to the dock at the bottom of your Mac, if you look under the icons, there are these little dots. Okay, they used to be arrows, but now they're dots. Those indicate that there are programs that are open. Now, it indicated my Spotify program was open, but we did not see it on Mission Control. So if I want to close Spotify, I can right-click on Spotify, and I can quit out of Spotify. And I want to quit out of Microsoft Word. So that's how you can close other apps and programs running in the background. Third thing you can do is refresh your browser page. Most of you are familiar with how to do this. Click that, reverse arrow, or you can do a Command R. Okay. Now, if you refresh your page and you're in a Google Meet, you're disconnected. You would have to reconnect yourself. So we're moving from least disruptive to more disruptive. So number 1 and number 2, you can do those things and not lose the connection with your Google Meet. Item 4, removing or disabling any unnecessary extensions. You do not need to use the Grid View extension anymore. That should be removed from your Chrome browser. It interferes with the current Meet program that Google is running. Google has added the functionality so that you can see up to 64 people. So you shouldn't need that Grid View extension. I know some of you use it so that you can alphabetize the student icon so you know where your kids are on the screen. Well, you may have to sacrifice that if that's what's causing the problem. The other thing that you may have a problem with is if you are using a large doc file and you are using Grammarly, which is a great extension. That may slow things down. So down on the right, bottom right here, you see this little spinning green dot. That's the Grammarly extension working. If you want to disable it on your large document, if you hover over the dot, come over to the power symbol, and you can disable it on that particular website. Now, how do we get rid of extensions? Most of you know how to do this, but we'll show you again anyway. Come up to the puzzle piece, top right here, and these are all of your extensions. You can also look at your extensions if you click on the Manage Extensions button here. Right. Take a look at your extensions. There are some on here maybe that you don't use anymore. There are some on here probably you're like, I don't even know what that's for. Get rid of them. And how you do that, click on the 3 dots and remove from Chrome. You can also go through Manage Extensions, which opens up another tab, and you can turn them off temporarily. Maybe you want to see if that's what's causing the problem, but you don't want to remove it totally from Chrome. That's fine. So that's item 4, remove or disable any unnecessary extensions. I know some of the functionality is nice, but if it's interfering with the bigger picture, you may have to do without it. Now we're getting more disruptive. You want to clear your cache and cookies. This is going to be a little more involved. You need to go into your settings. So we're going to go into settings, 3-dot menu on the top right, settings. Go down to privacy and security, clear browsing data, and click on advanced. We are on advanced right here. You can select any one of these top 4. These are the 2 that are probably going to make the most difference for you. Make sure you do not select this one, or all of the passwords that you may have had Google remember for you will disappear. I know if that happened to me, I'd be in trouble. So once you do that, hit the clear data button. It may take a moment, but now you have cleared the browsing history. That may speed things up for you. It signed me out of Google, and it's refreshing my page. And we're back in. Quick tip, if your Google Doc type is too small, if you go to the size window and hit fit, it fits it to the size of your window. All right, so once again, you can clear browser, cache, and cookies. Warning that it may delete passwords if you select that 4th option. You don't want to select that fourth option. Next, you want to make sure that your browser is updated. We're going to go back into the settings, which is right here. That's also, I still have it open here. And you're going to come down and you are going to go to About Chrome. You're going to click on About Chrome. It will automatically check to see if you have the latest version of Chrome. My Chrome is up to date. Yours may not. If so, there will be if not, a button will be here, say asking to update. Click on Update. It's fine for you to update the Chrome browser. That shouldn't be. But once you update the Chrome browser, it will ask you to refresh the browser, which means you will lose whatever windows you have open. So just be aware of that. Even more disruptive, you may have to restart your browser entirely. You can do a Command Q on the keyboard, or you come up to you come up to Chrome and you go down to quit Chrome. That doesn't work, you may need to restart your computer. If you never restart your computer, if every night when you go home you just close the top of it and put it to sleep and wake it back up, that builds up things in the computer. You may want to restart your computer. Myself, anytime I go home for the weekend, I completely shut down my computer, give it a little rest for the weekend. Every weekday of the week, I just put it to sleep. So those are some of the options that you can use to try to improve the performance of your Mac, from the least disruptive up here, closing unused browser tabs and windows, to the most disruptive, restarting your computer. All of these you can try with before calling for tech support. A couple other suggestions. If you are using Google Slides and the Google Slide files are loading very slowly, two things. One, you might want to consider using smaller files, smaller Google Slides files. If you're doing a hyperdoc for an entire unit and it's 40 slides long, that's going to take a long time to load. Maybe, cut it up into smaller chunks, as you would instruction for your students. Cut it up into smaller chunks. Second piece of advice is, if you are embedding video into a Google Slides file, it looks nice, but you may not be able to move as quickly as you want with all those videos in there. Instead, if you used links instead of the embedded videos, that may speed things up for you. I hope this helps, and I will see you on the next video.